Hey guys, I'm doing a collaboration with the Boise Restore, and I think I've narrowed it down to 2 items that I will be possibly flipping. But if you've never been in a Boise Restore, let's go ahead and take a tour. So they have a ton of different construction materials and windows and doors, but they also have a really good selection of furniture. This is where I find a ton of my pieces that I flip. And I'm going to be honest, it was really hard to find one. I was really contemplating this dresser. It was a laminate dresser, very, very shiny white material on there, that plasticky stuff. And so I wasn't quite sure if that's what I wanted, but instead I found this old vintage radio. This thing had been gutted already, was the perfect mid century modern style, which I know for flips does super well. Here's a little bit of the inside. And honestly, this one was speaking to me. I had the best idea for how to make it look a little bit more modern and contemporary, including using some of the materials that I already had on hand. So let's get to work. First, I started off with a scuff sand. Don't ask me why I started here. I probably should have just did all of my removal of this like red carpet looking panel stuff that was for the speakers, but I scuff sanded first. So I was removing all of that before I could really dive into the entire project. And then once that was done, it was time to give it a really good scrub down with my TSP solution. Once that was done, I let it dry. I did 2 coats of primer. This is the Kills primer. It's the one I always use in pretty much every video if I ever paint something. It's a really good one, so this is what I appreciated. Once that was done, I used 2 coats of Tricorn Black by Sherwin-Williams paint on this. This was left over from another project that I had, but it's one of my favorite blacks because it's a very good true black. It doesn't have a purple undertone. It can go on looking a little purple, but stay patient. It looks great. Once that was done, I took some of my plywood and I filled in where those speaker sections were. I just tacked in some plywood there so that I had something for this to sit on. And then I did a little accent piece with leftover wooden dowels. So these are the half round trim molding that I've used on a few other projects. So I had to just cut a bunch of these down on the saw, and then I had to stain these. I used a gel stain in the color Walnut. Anytime I'm using pine or any softwoods, I will always use a gel stain because it sits on top of the wood instead of penetrating deeply like some of the other stains. Once that was done, I used some glue and just glued all of these wood dowels in. And you ready for the after? It's a pretty simple project. Of course, 2 coats of top coat, but this is how it turned out. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. This was so good. It took me 2 days to sell this. I bought it for $50 and I ended up flipping it for $200, which was a little bit lower than I probably should have gone, but I really needed it out of my house, so I had a little bit more room. Here's the final result. I hope you enjoyed this flip. This was a quick, easy one, and I think you would enjoy it. If you ever come across an old radio, pick it up. You can do this. It's really cool. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next flip.